So, in the last stream, we were working on a couple of things, right? We kind of put the finishing touches onto our arboreal extractor setup over here. This is now fully up and running and ready to go. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's turning all of that resin that we get into tree oil, into rosin, and then sending those items to their respective dynamos to produce power. I have made a few slight tweaks to this system since the end of the last stream, those being that I've put hardened upgrades on all of the compression dynamos, meaning that they are now producing 60 redstone flux per tick as opposed to that default 40 that they produce normally. And I also threw a hardened upgrade kit onto the energy cell here as well, meaning that it can now input and output up to 4,000 redstone flux per tick and hold 8 million up from the 1 million that it could hold, maybe 2 million that it could hold previously. It's up from what it could hold before, and so now the system is just a little bit faster, just a little bit better. You could see right now we are still making way more resin and way more tree oil than we are using from our compression dynamos, and the reason for that mainly is because we're making way more power than we're using right now, and that's not a lot really. We're only making about 240 redstone flux per tick here, but we're not even using that at the moment, and so until we need more power, I don't really see a need to upgrade that much, but we can upgrade it if we want to. We can make these machines faster, these fractionating stills. We can put in augments to make them faster, augments to make them more efficient, all that kind of stuff. We can upgrade the dynamos to produce more power and whatnot as well. Also in the last stream, we did start working on setting up a gigantic colossal chest, which I have moved from our kind of like atrium area over there into its own room. The room is a work in progress. Right now, it's just a gigantic stone room with stone walls. I've worked a little bit on putting these stairs down here. These are chisel and bit stairs because they are custom blocks. Like there are no stair blocks for the seared bricks and there are no stair blocks for the dark oak planks. And so this does take a little bit of time to do, but it's a work in progress. This chest is freaking gigantic. It's massive. And I did also go ahead and add it to our storage scanner here, and so now if we do put something into this giant diamond chest, for example, if I just throw in my alumite hammer real quick, we should now be able to access it from our storage scanner, giving us effectively unlimited storage space. It's not actually unlimited storage space. Excuse me? Does my hammer not show up in here? I really thought, did I not make it? There's the colossal chest. It's not, hold on. Oh, it's on the floor, you an idiot, Isaac. Okay, hold on. If I put it in there, now I should be able to see it from the storage scanner, maybe. Let's see here. Hammer. Yeah, there it is. I can see it already. Nice. So it works. Cool. It does actually allow us to access it, and it's got a ton of space. It's got like just a ridiculous amount of space. It is freaking sane. Also, over here in the atrium area, I've kind of set up a bit of a roof. I'm not quite sure if I love this. I like the shape that I've got here, but I don't know if I quite like the fact that it's kind of just all seared brick. It's a bit much. I might add some different blocks in here, try and mix it up a little bit. But I also built this thing right here, the enhanced building guide. And for those who don't know, this essentially just makes building intricate shapes a little bit easier. I used it to make this like domed roof here, and the way it works, there are two types of building guide. There's the normal building guide and then the enhanced building guide. The normal building guide will just show you the layout of the block that you want to make. The enhanced building guide will then actually allow you to make it with the building guide itself. Essentially what you can do is you can toggle at the top here, there's an up and down arrow, you can toggle which shape you want it to make. You can see we've got cuboid, there's full cuboid, normal cuboid, cylinder, sphere, planes, axes, octagon, hexagon, pentagon, triangle, dome is the one that I used here. And then if you turn it on with a lever, it will then produce a kind of outline of what you want it to look like. You can use these arrows here. You can just right click to make it rotate if you don't quite want it in that specific location. You can also change the way you put it down. Like you can see right now, it's just rotating around kind of this axis. It's not actually going up, which is where you might want it at some point. And so you can reorient the way you place it to make it face up if you'd like. And then using these plus and minus signs here, you can make the dimensions bigger and smaller. You can make it taller, thinner, fatter, wider, all the stuff that you want to do. You can tweak it however you'd like. And then the cool thing about the enhanced building guide is if you have a material that you want to build your shape out of, all you have to do is grab that material and then right click onto the building guide, and it will automatically take it from your inventory and place it down in the world, and it will start filling that up. If I was to continually right click on this enhanced building guide here, it would go ahead and fill in that shape. I'm not going to do that because that's not what I want. I don't want that shape to be in my base, but that is what I did for the top bit here. Getting shapes like this is kind of difficult to do if you don't, well, for me at least, I'm not a particularly artistic person, and so getting this kind of shape can be a little bit difficult, but it's there now. It's a work in progress, and I'll kind of try and make this look better as time goes on. Got a little nether portal here. This is very temporary. The only reason I have this is because we do need to go to the nether in today's stream, and I took down the other one to make room for the giant chest room, although, in fairness, we are going to run into issues, because like this, like if we try and make a room behind this archway here, I think it's gonna bump into this room because this chest room is so massively gigantic. I think that the archway is probably like right about here, and so we might not even be able to put any kind of room behind there anywhere. And so part of me is thinking that I might just go ahead and make this whole archway into a big custom-sized nether portal. I think that could look quite cool. And in fact, that leads me nicely into the first thing that I want to get done in today's stream, and that is automating Obsidian. It's something that we should have done freaking ages ago. It's something that's so ridiculously easy to do, and it's something that will save us so much time when it comes to making Obsidian with that freaking barrel like we've been doing for the last like 8 streams now. And you'll notice here that, but maybe you'll notice, that I have switched up the stuff here. Like before, we had our storage drawer on this side, we had the tank on this side, and all I've done is move it around so that we can put ourselves a little bit of Obsidian automation into this gap here. To do that, I'm going to go ahead and use the igneous extruder from thermal expansion. Really easy to do, and also really easy to make, and also really easy to upgrade further on down the line. Igneous. I always want to put an N before the G there. It's not igneous extruder. It's this guy right here, made quite easily with 2 copper, 1 redstone reception coil, 1 machine frame, 2 invar, and 1 glass. Pretty simple recipe that we've seen multiple times throughout the course of the series. Let me go ahead and make just a couple of copper gears here. I think we might already have some, but just to play it safe, we'll go ahead and make all of the ingredients. And then for now, I'm just going to go ahead and slap this down right about there. Like that. And then I'm thinking that we'll probably put another storage drawer, just a simple dark oak storage drawer, which we might already have. We don't. I was really hoping that we would have one already made, but nevertheless, I'm fairly certain actually it might just be quicker here for me to put the recipe into the crafting grid. We need some dark oak planks. I believe we're going to have to use standard ones, so we'll grab those real quick. I will grab 1 singular vanilla chest, and then again, I have made the mistake of not grabbing enough dark oak. There we go. And if we do something like this and this, that should get us our very own dark oak storage door. Nice. Now, I guess what we could do later on down the line, because we're kind of working with this these dark oak planks from chisel here, what we could do if we wanted to make the base look a little bit more kind of coherent, to make it look very similar, is we could look into maybe getting the table. I don't know the exact name of it. Let me go to @storage drawers here real quick. There is a table from storage drawers. Oh my goodness, @storage drawers, maybe? How do I get to it? Is it this one? It is, yeah, we need this guy right here. We could make the framing table. The framing table allows you to make storage drawers that look like custom blocks, and so we could kind of mix these up and make our storage drawers look quite nice. I think I will do that at some point in the near future here, but for the time being, just to get like a practical setup up and running, we're going to have this here. Do I have at least 1 piece of obsidian just to kind of lock in that storage door real quick? I don't think I do. I think I used the last of my obsidian setting up that nether portal, but essentially here, guys, all we are going to do is we're going to pump in some of the excess lava that we're making from the crucible here, as well as some water, probably from another sink. I did start working towards making another sink by smelting up 5 clay into 5 terracotta blocks. So if we just quickly go ahead and grab one of those, that should be all we need here to actually produce obsidian, right? So I think the way that I'm probably going to want to do this, like the hardest part here is making it look, I mean, it's not going to look good because we're hidden behind a wall here, right? But it's making it work how we want it to work. And to do this, we might actually have to make some more lasers maybe, because I'm thinking, right, we can put the sink down here, but we now need to get both water and lava continuously into the igneous extruder here. So I'm going to turn all the sides off. I'm going to make the top here an output, and we're going to make the back an input. Now, we need to get both the lava and the water really into this one back side, because we are going to cover up this side here. And so I think really the only way we are going to be able to do that is with some more of those fluid lasers from actual additions. Nice. So now that we've got all of those, all we need to do is, just like before, quickly grab our laser wrench, which should be in here somewhere. It is indeed. We already had 4? I thought we only had 3. Oh my goodness, look at that. I didn't even have to freaking make them. That's fine. You can never have too many fluid lasers anyway. Let me throw down one of these here, And then I guess we can probably put it here and here. Like a lot of the lava is going to be back stored in the crucible because this thing is almost constantly full. The reason we're doing that as well is because you can't put two lasers within the same block, and so we couldn't, even if we wanted to, we couldn't pull it from the lava. Although I guess that's not true, right? If we wanted to, I guess we could do this, and this might actually be a better way of doing it, like that, and then set that to only extract, and then only insert, like that, and then if we go boom and boom, that should then be pumping both lava and water continuously into the igneous extruder, and then all we got to do from there on is go ahead and select Obsidian, and then if we give this thing power, it should be good to go. Now, power is an interesting one that I didn't think about, apparently, because now where in the freaking world am I going to pump the power into this? I could, like, I think, because ideally here, I want to be able to cover up this wall again, right, and make it nice and flush, but I think that's not going to work for us right now. Like, the way we would have to do that to make it work is we would have to get, I think, into a little bit of Ender IO, get a painting machine so that we could cover up the cables, because I want it to look like this and have Obsidian be pumped up into that storage drawer. But if we're pushing fluids into the back like that, that means that we have to put the power in on one of these other sides here. I don't really think that there's another way for us to do that, and so part of me here is thinking that I might take a quick detour at the start of today's stream to make our first energy conduits from Ender IO. They're not particularly difficult to make, I don't think, here, requiring 3 conductive iron and then 6 conduit binder. Conduit binder is made by smelting the binder composite, which is just some sand, gravel, and some clay, all of which we apparently don't have. We don't have sand, really? Oh my goodness, we do have a little bit of compressed sand, which is good. And then apparently we don't have any clay. Do we have any? We definitely have dust, right? I'm pretty sure that I might even have excess dust in here. We do. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Why are you spitting out dust? I don't know why that's spitting out dust. Like, oh, I know exactly why that's spitting out dust, and that is because I am a fool. We really need to set up more grid power. Remind me, chat, at some point, we need to set more grid power up, because I've moved temporarily our water mill over here, just kind of hidden it in the background, and I took a piece of water there, so this was not producing the full 16 grid power, but we definitely need more, because right now we're very much so on the brink of using all of our grid power, which is why the sieve wasn't working, which is why we're backing up in terms of dust, but it's actually quite a good thing because it means that we can go ahead and very quickly here get ourselves some clay nice and easily. Again, I'm going to use this sink, I guess, this time, just because it's close to get ourselves some clay. Clay is really something that we should, like Obsidian, automate as soon as we can. It's not difficult to automate. We can just pull from the sink here into a stone barrel, push the dust here into the stone barrel, and then pull the clay out, right? It's really not hard to automate whatsoever, and so should be something that is at the top of our list to do, but it's going to take a backbench for the time being whilst I go ahead and quickly craft up some conduit binder, and then we'll go ahead and real quick, I do need to uncraft the sand there, uncompress it, real quick, throw that into one of our furnaces here. Some people in the comment section did mention that there are faster furnaces than the inferior furnace, which is of course true. You know, there are even faster furnaces within the Mystical Agriculture mod, but people did mention specifically the diamond furnaces from, I think, Better Furnaces is the mod, or it's from More Furnaces. How much better are these? Like, is the diamond furnace significantly faster than the Inferium? Also, like if we type in just furnace in general, we have all the different tiers of furnace from Mystical Agriculture as well. You know, it starts with the Inferium furnace, which is 15% more efficient, but then it goes all the way up through the tiers to the Ultimate furnace, which is 9,000% more efficient than a base vanilla furnace. It is extremely expensive and something that we are not going to be able to make in today's stream, but just wondering, does anyone know in Twitch chat if the diamond furnace is more, like, is it a good efficiency for us? Like, where does it sit relative to these furnaces here? The diamond furnace is great. It has so many slots. Let's take a look real quick. I did get the gravel sifting back online, and so we should, I think, have quite a few diamonds. We do indeed. So let's go ahead. Let's do it for science, right? Let's go ahead and try real quick making a diamond furnace. It does require you go through quite a few steps here. You of course need the gold furnace, the iron furnace, and a standard furnace. I think we should already have a vanilla furnace in the system. We don't really. Okay, in that case, let me quickly craft up a standard furnace, turn that standard furnace into an iron furnace, turn that iron furnace into a gold furnace, and then turn that gold furnace into a diamond furnace, which for now we'll go ahead and put down like right about here, right? So we'll take out our composite binder, we'll take out the coal, we'll get rid of the inferium furnace, throw down our diamond furnace, and so now it has multiple slots for fuel and multiple slots for smelting. That is interesting. So, for example here, this chest, by the way, is just all of the stuff that I took out of the loot bag opener that we used to have here where the mob spawner was. And so I'm just going to dump some stuff out of my inventory real quick into the system here just to make a little bit of space. But for example, if I was to grab like a few stacks of cobblestone, like stone is something that I make quite a bit of, mostly because it's used very frequently in the base design. And I was just to throw that into the top slot here. Not only does it smelt faster than a regular furnace, but it also can hold multiple stacks at once. That is actually really cool. I dig that. I dig that a lot. And I'm guessing that all of the excess like outputs are put in these slots here. That's really cool. Let me see here. So if we wanted to make the tier 1 energy conduits from Ender.io, which are pretty good as well at transferring power, they can transfer up to 640 redstone flux per tick end to end, which is quite good. We need to get that 6 conduit binder, which we now have, as well as 3 conductive iron, which we can make in our induction smelter with just some iron and some redstone. So let's go ahead and quickly grab just a few of those. I don't want to really grab too many, although we are doing quite nice on redstone now, which is good. So we'll throw you in, we'll throw you in. I did have a few issues with these drawers at the top here filling up between sessions. So I did put in a few upgrades. If I shift right click here, you can see I've put an emerald upgrade into almost every one of these because we were filling up, and this little like storage crate up here was just full of just random trash that was backing up the whole system. Items weren't being picked up. It was causing like just a ton of frame rate lag. It wasn't great whatsoever. We really should look into putting void upgrades into these so that if that does happen again, the system will just void any excess items that are produced instead of backing up like that and spewing items everywhere. And so that is also something that is on my list of things to do. But for now, let's go ahead and get ourselves our first set of energy conduits here, which, for those who don't know, work just like any other kind of flux duct for transferring power. And all I think we're going to do for now is just run this kind of down through the wall like so. The cool thing about the energy conduits and also about multiple conduits from Ender.io is that you can cover them up using conduit facades. The conduit facades are also fairly easy to make. You make them by crafting up just 8 conduit binder in like a chest-like crafting recipe. And the coolest bit about that is that if you use the painting machine from Ender.io, you can actually paint the conduit facades to look like any block you like, right? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we should have everything it takes to make this painting machine: 2 nether quartz, 1 diamond, 2 infinity bimetal gears, which are a bit of a pain, but I'm fairly certain that we should have enough of those grains of infinity now to make this happen. So let's grab 2 of those real quick. Do we have what it takes to make another industrial machine chassis? We need a simple machine chassis and industrial powder coating. Simple. We don't have that. That's fine. Industrial powder coating. We do have. Good stuff, good stuff. So I'll take you. Let's quickly craft up 1 of those. And then what was the final bit I needed there? I needed 3 electrical steel ingots, which we can make in our simple alloy smelter with silicon, pulverized coal, and iron. And I think we do have some silicon simply due to the fact that we accidentally made it in our sag mill setup over here. When we initially started it, we were turning cobble to gravel, gravel to sand, sand to silicon. And so we shouldn't have this, but we do accidentally have it available to us, which is quite nice. And we should also have our alloy smelter from earlier, I think. Did I move that? Oh, it's right here. So let's use those leadstone flux ducts, get some power to our alloy smelter. That's going to get us the electrical steel, at which point the painting machine should be pretty easy for us to get. And then my plan pretty much here, guys, for today's stream is I want to make a jetpack. You may notice I've got a few items in my inventory here, like the flux capacitors and the leadstone thrusters. I made those just because they were a little tedious to make off stream. And so I made those. We're ready to make a jetpack. And I kind of want to try and get a drop of evil from extra utilities so that we can set up a bit of a better mob farm, right? You may remember in the previous stream, we were working on getting pink slime so that we could get ourselves a Stoneworks factory. I did let the slaughterhouse work quite a bit before I started digging out for this big old freaking chest room here. And so we do actually have 1 bucket worth of pink slime in our system, so we can get ourselves 1 physical pink slime and thus make 1 Stoneworks factory. But I really do think that we're going to need to get more pink slime because I would like, hopefully, to get multiple Stoneworks factories. And also, as I mentioned in a previous stream, I kind of want to mess around with the energy field provider and also the energy field add-on, both of which I believe do require pink slime ingots, which require quite an abundance of pink slime. And so what I'm thinking of doing here is essentially getting a mob spawner set up using the cursed earth. The cursed earth will spawn a ton of mobs. We'll then push those mobs for now at least, towards a slaughterhouse to produce an excess of pink slime. And then once we've got enough pink slime, we can then replace it with maybe a mob crusher, punji sticks, spikes, really anything that we would like to get. And then after that, you know, we'll just have a regular mob spawner that will hopefully stand with us until we move on to Woot later on in the pack. That's the plan, at least. So, do we have what it takes to get this up and running? I think we do. Was it silicon? It was iron, and it was pulverized coal, I think, was the final item. I don't know if we have any pulverized coal. We do, which is quite nice. I think we must have got that from a sag mill earlier on. But let's grab some iron. Let's throw all of those into there. We've actually got 3 pulverized coal, which is exactly the amount that we need to get this up and running. It is still very, very slow, but it should get us there eventually. So, now that we have ourselves the electrical steel, we should finally be able to go ahead and make a painting machine. Let me quickly, first of all, throw our simple machine chassis and our industrial powder coating into the induction smelter. That's going to very quickly go ahead and get us a simple machine chassis, at which point we can throw all of that together into a painting machine. Nice. We're missing a quartz, really? We don't have a nether quartz? Oh my goodness. All right, in that case, then let me quickly head on through to the nether and try and grab one more piece of nether quartz, because apparently we're missing just the one piece. Oh my goodness. So yeah, let's go ahead and quickly craft up the painting machine. There we go. All right, so let's throw this guy down. I reckon, again, for now, I'll just put it in the temp location, which is right here. We do need a capacitor for that. I did forget about that, but thankfully, again, we've got those grains of infinity ready to go. And so getting ourselves a capacitor shouldn't be too hard. There it is. Kapow. Kaboom. The capacitors requiring 2 grains of infinity is interesting. It makes them kind of one of the most expensive items in terms of infinity grains. So, there are 4 blocks here. So, as I was talking to Twitch chat about earlier, we only need 2 blocks to actually cover up these pipes here. But I think if we want all of the textures to connect, we need to get ourselves 4 of the conduit facades. Now, I don't think that we're going to have enough to make that many conduit facades, because you do need 8 conduit binder per facade, and so I think really we'll only be able to make 1 or 2 of these, and so that does mean that I'm going to have to very quickly here get some more sand, gravel, and dust just to make a few more, but just to get the basic idea out of the way, let's go ahead and throw you in there. We'll throw that in with a piece of stone, specifically the stone that we want it to look like, which is this one right here. Throw that in on the left slot, like so. And then that's going to go ahead and paint that conduit facade to look like that piece of stone. And then once that is done, any second now, we can take that and we can use it to cover up the energy conduit that we already have over here, like so. And that actually kind of connects just fine. Sometimes with some textures, you have to, like, it won't connect to the normal block. You have to put 2 conduit facades next to each other, but actually that works perfectly fine here. And so all we need to do is just make 1 more conduit facade, put it there, and then actually connect this up to power, and we should be good to go. I guess we need to figure out a way to get power over to this guy, and I think the easiest way would be to move the Spectre Coil, right? The one that we've been moving around constantly forever now. But I kind of want to, I don't know, my plan here was to have these, we got this flux network mod, right? This flux point, which is wirelessly transferring power from our arboreal extractor setup to this little area over here. Now, we could make multiple more of these flux points and kind of just throw them down at multiple points around the base, but I kind of want to distribute power in a more interesting way, and I want to use multiple mods to do it. And so I'm kind of thinking about using those lasers from actualizations in, like, as well as using the Flux Networks mod here. And so, let's see here. We don't have any lasers. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we can turn these back into energy lasers by just throwing them down like that. That turns them into item lasers. I think if we do it a 3rd time, yeah, nice. They go back to energy lasers. So, what I'm kind of thinking here is that I might have a bit of an underground, or maybe even overground, laser network setup, right? To kind of show you what I mean, let me get rid of this one here. So, like, right now, all of our power from our arboreal extractors is going over here, right? Like, this side of the room, these machines over here, this sag mill, all of these machines are being powered by the Spectre Coil, right? They're not getting power from our centralized power source. which is a problem. And what I'm kind of thinking, just to give you a proof of concept here, this is not where the final destination is going to be, but I'm kind of thinking that we do something like this. We throw down a flux point in a room, right? Like, we're going to have multiple rooms around our base. I think that we use the flux network mod to transfer power from our main power source to the center of a room, and then we can use something like lasers from actuations to transfer that power from the wireless flux point to other parts of the room, right? Like, if we do something like this and then grab our laser wrench and just connect those up, that should then begin to transfer power from the flux point over to that side of the room, and then we can do the same thing over on this side as well. You know, we could throw down a flux point, sorry, a laser even somewhere like that, connect that up like so, and then finally we could throw down another laser, you know, somewhere like, I don't know if I can just put it there. It does look like it's connecting. I don't know whether or not that actually does connect, but, you know, something like that and like that. Obviously, this looks ridiculous right now. You know, it doesn't look great at all. It looks kind of silly, but it works. You know, power is being sent over to the Ignis extruder, which will then begin to produce obsidian slowly but surely. Of course, we can upgrade that with our hardened upgrade kits, like so, make it a little bit faster. Also, it does now have space for augments, which we could use as well to make it faster even still. But I kind of like this idea, and so I'm thinking what I might do, I'm going to leave this here for now, because this is working, but what I think I might do between streams is either move this up to the roof and have kind of lasers going across the roof in each direction, or move it underground and kind of have it a little bit hidden, but I think this kind of looks cool. Anyway, so now we do actually have an unlimited source of obsidian being made. It's a little bit slow in that the lava is not being transferred particularly fast, and also this is full of water. No, yeah, why is that full of water? That shouldn't be... This should only be receiving... This should only be sending fluids, right? Only out of adjacent blocks. Yeah, so water should not be making its way into this tank at all. Somehow it has done. Let me quickly get another tank real quick. Is there an easy way to empty this out? Like if I do that? Can I like shift right click to empty tank? No? Okay, let me make another tank real quick here. Just to try and see if this is an ongoing problem. It really shouldn't be. Like we shouldn't be getting water into there whatsoever. It might have gotten in before I changed the config, potentially. What do I need? I need glass, right? Yeah, I'm thinking it probably got in before, because the lasers are very fast at transferring liquid. Like, they move the liquid extremely quickly, and so it probably got into the tank before I switched the configuration. But if we put that back now, it should mean that only lava... See, why has that got water in it? Why has that filled up with water? Because this laser should only out of adjacent blocks. So it should only be pulling water out of adjacent blocks. Is it because... Like, okay, so down here, you can see this laser is providing power to this block despite the fact that it's not touching it. Is this laser providing water to this tank despite the... Like, is that what's happening there? Like, it's not touching this tank, but because it's next to it, is it transferring the water into there anyway? I didn't know that's how that worked, and that's a little infuriating. I guess in that case, then, we could just kind of, like, leave... Get rid of this. Let me get rid of some of these things real quick. I'm going to get rid of that. We might have to make yet another tank, because I still don't know how you empty these tanks. Or if you can empty these tanks. But I guess what we'll have to do, then, is not pull from the tank. We'll just pull from the crucible, like we were going to do originally. Get me another one of these servos real quick. And then give me a tank. Yet another tank. Yeah, we'll throw that down right about here. That should start filling up with lava as usual. It does mean that if we ever fully empty this tank, we are going to be in a bit of a pickle. It will fill up with water again. But for the time being, if we do this and this, water shouldn't end up in that tank if there's lava in it, right? So all we need to do here, again, set you to out. Set you to in. That one's already on out. And then we'll connect all these up again like that. I think that should work just fine. Again, though, why? Why? How? Is this a visual glitch that I'm seeing here? Like, it had... What? What? It had lava in it. What? Excuse me? Oh, it pulled the lava out. This fluid, oh my goodness, okay. Okay. So what happened there is that this fluid laser relay pulled the lava out of here, as well as out of the crucible. Okay. People recommending the fluid trash can. That is a good idea. Fluid trash can. Let's get one of those real quick from X Utilities just so we can kind of empty out this excess water, because we're wasting so many freaking tanks here. I'm pretty sure that if we use a crescent hammer, we can set this to output mode. Yeah, there we go. Nice. All right. All right. I think I've got this, chat. I think I've got this. All we do here, it's going to be a bit janky, but bear with me. Get rid of this. Get rid of this, right? We're going to... Oh, no. How do we... Oh, boy. I guess that what we're going to have to do here is kind of pull... Let me out. From the other side. Thankfully, lasers can go through blocks. And so if we can get a laser down on this side of the crucible... Did that work? No. It's probably going to be a lot easier, actually, for me to do this from the other side here. Like if I get rid of this. We're going to put down a laser here. That's going to pull the lava out. The lava is going to go into here. Water's going to come out of there. It's going to go into there. We're then going to go ahead and throw down an empty tank. That empty tank should receive lava. The lava should in no way get pulled out of this tank. We grab our compass. We set this to out. We set this to out. We make sure this one here is set to in. And I think, chat, that should work just fine, right? So we go from here to here. We go from here to here. And now lava should make its way into the ignis extruder from the crucible when it's ready. And then simultaneously, lava should occasionally, I guess, end up in the portable tank. It might be the case that we never get any more lava in the portable tank just because of the fact that it's moving to the ignis extruder so quickly. But I think for the most part, that is fine. And so I'm just going to go very quickly here and throw all of this stuff back down. And I think, guys, that after way too much time, this shouldn't have taken anywhere near as long as it did, but I think that we're good to go. So, now that that is taken care of, let me get rid of this freaking fluid trash can for the time being, and let me empty out my inventory just a little bit here to free up some space. The next thing that I would like to do is I would like to get us a jetpack. The jetpacks from Simply Jetpacks are not the greatest in the game. You know, there are better sources of flight, specifically creative mode flight, that we can get from mods like Extra Utilities 2, but for the time being, we're going to go ahead and start out with the leadstone jetpack and the hardened jetpack because they're easy to make and not too bad. They're pretty bad, but they're not too bad. And they'll also go allow us to fly around in the Nether to try and get a drop of evil so we can get our very own cursed earth. Now, to make this, it's fairly simple stuff, fairly simple kind of like thermal expansion recipes. A lot of redstone, a lot of lead, some copper, some tin, some reactant dynamos, leadstone flux ducts. I've gone through the effort of making some of this stuff behind the scenes because they are just super tedious and super micro crafty. And so we should, I think, be able to maybe go ahead and shift like that in. But we are missing one flux capacitor, and we're also missing one leather strap. Now, the problem that I ran into is that I made a flux capacitor, and then I used that flux capacitor to make the invar flux capacitor, the hardened one, but I can't make another one because we don't have any sulfur. I think sulfur is usually dropped from creepers, I'm not too sure, but it does show in JEI that if we put some netherrack and some soul sand into the induction smelter here, we've got, I think, a 25% chance of getting the sulfur as a byproduct. There we go, we got ourselves one sulfur. Nice. So, that should allow us to make this other flux capacitor fairly easily, which at that point, all we need is just 4 leather. Now, we did run into this issue a little bit early on in the series, and I think the easiest way for us to make leather, outside of actually getting cows, is probably going to be for us to go ahead and make a drying basin here from Integrated Dynamics, craft that up with some black dye. I don't know if it's going to let us use flour black powder. It is. Do we have any flour black powder? We do. So let me go ahead and just throw that in instead of the ink sac there real quick. That's going to get us a drying basin. And then the drying basin, you can just throw rotten flesh directly into that and give it a couple of seconds, and it should turn that into leather, if I'm not mistaken. We only need 4. If I press U here, does it give me a time on how long it's going to take to turn that into leather? It doesn't. It just says that it will eventually do it. And there we go. It's not too long. Now that we've got ourselves the 4 leather there, let's go ahead and craft up the leather strap and then craft that up into our leadstone jetpack. And then following that, we should be able, I think, to go straight in with the hardened jetpack. We cannot. I really thought I'd already made the upgraded flux capacitor. Maybe I didn't. No, I definitely did. I definitely did. Did I put that somewhere I shouldn't have put it? Is it like in here, maybe? No, I'm almost certain that I did make a second flux capacitor, the second tier of flux capacitor. As to where I may have put that flux capacitor, I have no freaking idea. Either way, that's fine. We can go ahead and make another one fairly easily. The capacitor's in my alloy smelter? Is it? Are you sure? Not the capacitor from Ender.io, like the different capacitor. Look in the power slot on the igneous. Oh, is it possible I placed it in one of those by accident? Oh, it's there. It's in my induction smelter. Okay, cool. All right, in that case, we should now be able to go ahead and make this. And I think it might make it fully charged, maybe? Nah, wishful thinking. But now we've got a tier 2 hardened jetpack. I guess if we wanted to, we should really look at making that an armored jetpack, just to give us a little bit more protection when we go and try and fight here. The armoring on the jetpacks is fairly easy to make. You can make the bronze armoring for the hardened jetpack by crafting together some bronze ingots and some iron armor plating in the induction smelter. The iron armor plating, real easy stuff. It's just some iron and some tin. So I will go ahead and make this real quick. It's not particularly difficult. And then we might already have enough bronze already. We do. So if we just go ahead and real quick throw those together in there, that's going to get us the bronze armor plating, which we can then go ahead and craft with our hardened jetpack to give us just a little bit of armor. 6, to be precise. Boom, and boom. Nice. Okay, so usually we'd have to get a way to charge the jetpack, but in this case, I'm fairly certain that in our Flux network here, we can go ahead and enable wireless charging, which should then begin to take power from the network and automatically send it to any item that can receive wireless charging in our inventory, maybe even just specifically in our hotbar here. But you can see we are now receiving power into our hardened jetpack wirelessly, which is great because it means we don't have to actively charge that up. It's pulling it directly from this energy cell over here, which is fantastic. And now we do have a somewhat remedial, but also workable way of flying, which is quite nice. You know, it's not the best in the world. It does have a limited hover function, but for the most part, it works, and I like that. So, what I'm going to do real quick here, before we go through to the Nether, I want to do a couple of things. The first thing is that I would like to upgrade this Nether portal a little bit. I do quite like the idea of just having this wall here, this arch, being a full Nether portal, and so I'm just going to very quickly get rid of the one that we have and then replace it with a slightly larger one that fully covers up the whole wall here. Let's go ahead and light this. Kapow. Nice. So now we've got just like a nice old wall that is also a Nether portal. I quite like that. Now we've got the Nether portal up and running. The next thing I want to do is get a Tinker's Construct sword. And so I think I'm probably going to go with maybe like a long sword, a broadsword, a rapier. I don't know what the difference is between many of these swords. I know that the cleaver comes with beheading by default, which is quite nice. As for the rest of these, I don't think there's really too much of a difference. The rapier is a special weapon that relies on quick strikes to defeat foes. Right-click to backpedal. The longsword is an offensive weapon. It's used for charging into battle at full speed. Right-click to lunge. And then the broadsword is a universal weapon. Sweep attacks keep enemy hordes at bay, also good against cobwebs. Use the katana if you need DPS. Which one is the katana? This one here, the katana is a special weapon that unleashes combos on the targets. Complements the shuriken. Is the katana a weapon I should be looking at here? A tough tool rod, two large sword blades, and a tough binding. Yeah, okay. I think I'll make the. I think we'll start with the katana. We can always make a different weapon if it's not good enough. Sword blade. Best materials in this game stage are Manulin and Demonic. I don't think we have what it takes to make Manulin. Like the Manulin requires Cobalt and Ardite, right? And we don't have Cobalt and Ardite yet. That's a good point. If Cobalt and Ardite is easy to get in the Nether, it might be worth popping in and grabbing some real quick. How much are we going to need here? Is it like I should check the requirements real quick. Like, the katana needs a sword blade, was it? How much, 2 ingots for a sword blade? All right, yeah, sure. Let's go grab some, Cobalt and Ardite real quick then, and let's make some Manulin. That's probably going to make a much better sword in the long run. The large sword blade needs 8. Oh, boy. This one here? Oh, yeah, look at that. So we're going to need 16 Manulin. Is Manulin, I think Manulin's like a 2-for-1, right? Like you get one Manulin, one Manulin ingot from 1 Cobalt and 1 Ardite, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2 and 2 makes 2. So it's like you do lose metal in the process. So yeah, we'll go with that. We'll make some Manulin there. So people are telling me in the Twitch chat that if we grab some nether brick, which we did smelt up earlier, if we grab some nether brick and we put down some lava and we throw gold ingots into the lava, it will get us demonic ingots. So let's see if this works here. So do I need to fully encase the lava with nether brick? Let's grab a bucket as well real quick. So, do I need to do... I've done something similar to this, right? I think I did something similar to this in Modern Skyblock. So, like, if I throw gold into here, is this going to work, chat? I thought maybe it was actually like this. Yeah, okay. So I have done this before. You need nether brick on all sides, not just on... You need to cover the lava completely in nether brick, and then you could throw your gold at it to get the demon ingots. Okay, yeah, we definitely did this in Modern Skyblock 3. But anyway, now we've got a bunch of demon ingots, which we've now got, which is nice. Can we use those, I guess, to make a large sword blade? I guess we can. And the demonic large sword blade has an attack of 11.1, which is quite high, actually. Like, some of these have got, like, I guess evil infused is the one of the highest tiers at 13 there, but a lot of these other ones don't really have too much, and the infinity is, of course, 40, but 11 seems quite high, all things considered. So I like that. I like that a lot. So let's see here. Are we close to having the manual? And we are. We got 1 block and 7 ingots, so 16 ingots worth of manual, which is good. Next thing we're going to have to do is get ourselves a pattern. We need to get the large sword blade pattern, which is like this one. It is indeed. We'll then get some cobblestone real quick, of course, to make the pattern into a pot, which we can then pull out into a cast. We are going to need some gold for that. Let me just quickly grab some from here. Oh, I should have used my storage scanner. That would have been quicker. But anyway, we'll go ahead and throw in just the 2, I think, for now. I don't think we're going to need more than that, at least not just yet. Let's also pick that back up and throw that back in there for the time being. So let's do this and this. Nice. And then we'll throw you down in the casting table. Gold's ready to go. We'll make ourselves a cast. And then we're going to make our first one out of manual. I guess we should also go ahead and throw in 8 of these. Do these double? I guess they won't double, right, in here? That would make sense. Yeah, no. So we do need 8 of those in there. That's going to get us the other sword blade. And then we're going to use magical wood for either the binding or the rod. What do we need again for magical wood? I think it's just like a bookshelf crafted, right? Or something like that with some gold, right? Okay, so if we're going to do that, let's see here. The katana needs what? A tough binding, which means you need like 3 magical wood if we're going to make the binding out of it. And so that would mean we need 3 bookshelves, which means we need quite a bit of paper. Do we have much sugar cane? We've got 26. I think that should realistically be enough. Nice. Okay, so I'm fairly certain that should allow us to get the large binding, right? Which we might already have the cast for, because I did make the hammer, so binding. Yeah, we totally do. Is this a tough one? That's a standard one. I guess we could always make another one, right? It's not particularly hard to make. Just do that, and then over in the pot builder, we'll throw in you and you. That's going to get us the magical wood tool binding. All right, let's see. How good of a sword is this? Attack 9.7, modifier is 5, versus undead plus 5, durability is 432. The durability is not particularly high, but we could add a diamond or something. I quite like this. I'm going to take this as a weapon, and we're going to give it a go. So one of the first things I would like to add is more durability. So I will take a diamond here and whack it on. We could also add an emerald as well to add extra durability if we so wish, but 932 seems like a good amount there. Let's also grab some lapis. Thankfully, we've got an absolute butt ton of lapis, and so it's not really going to be too hard for us to get a nice amount of looting on this thing. Let's see here. So I don't want to use too many modifiers on looting. 60 out of 60. Yeah, let's go for the 1. Maybe I do want to use a second modifier, though, on looting. On luck, sorry, to try and really get the drop chance up. Yeah, I think I will go ahead and make a second... I do want to save some modifiers for sharpness, for attack, but I think I will go ahead and give a whole second modifier there to luck to make this just even better at getting us mob drops. And then finally, I would like to put maybe 1, maybe 2 modifiers into... Is it smite? I'm not quite sure. We've only got 17 nether quartz here, which is not the greatest amount. How many can we put on? 72, man. So that does boost its attack a little bit. Let's go and give this a try, though. Let's pop into the nether. Let's see about getting some more nether quartz real quick. And let's also see if we can't find a nether fortress, right? Because we do need to get one of those if we're going to start to find some of the wither skeletons to hopefully get that drop of evil at some point. So we do need to find, like, obviously, I think this thing is going to just kill a chicken in 1 hit. Yeah, like, that was not ever in question. It's a chicken. Really, the question is whether or not it can kill other mobs in 1 hit as well. But I want to keep my eyes peeled for a nether fortress as well. I've also got to keep my eyes on the, I don't love the fact that in the top left there, like the day time, like text covers up how much juice you've got left in your jetpack. I think we've got 98% though, so we should be fine in terms of not running out of charge. Isaac, you're right next to one? Am I? Oh yeah, there's one right there. Look at that. Holy heck. All right. Let's put a waypoint down then over on this Nether fortress, and then we'll probably head back. This is 7,000 raises. I don't think I'll mind me using it. So let's see here. Jay, let's quickly throw down a waypoint for Nether Fortress. Make it like the Nether Fortress red color, which is like, it's kind of more, kind of darker. I'll just do red. That's fine. All right. Can we get some... So we gotta be careful not to hit the zombie pigmen. That would be bad. It's quite powerful already. Like, the fact that it only took 2 hits there to kill the wither skeleton. Is that a drop of evil? Holy heck, guys. After all that, the first wither skeleton that we killed gave us the drop of evil. Like, that's all I need. That's all I need. I just needed the one drop of evil. That's it. That's everything. That's the that's all this tool was for. This tool was to get a drop of evil, and we got it on the first freaking try. Oh my goodness. All right, well, in that case then, I am still going to go ahead and upgrade our sword a little bit here. I'm going to throw on the extra sharpness. Looks like we can kind of throw all of that on. Yeah, let's go for it. So that takes it up to 12.31. That makes it quite strong. I like it. So, now we've got that drop of evil, all we have to do now is throw down some dirt and right-click that drop of evil onto some dirt, and that will turn it into the cursed earth, which will then start to rapidly spawn some quite powerful mobs, which we are going to push into our slaughterhouse to then get some pink slime. So, I'm kind of thinking here that we'll just set up like a very temporary room, because we don't need all that much pink slime, really. I'm also going to turn this sound down a little bit. It's a little loud for me. We don't need all that much in the way of pink slime just yet. And we're also not going to be using this mob spawner forever, right? I do want to jump into the Woot mod fairly soon. But for now, at least, let's go ahead and throw just a tiny little room over here. All we're going to do is we're going to throw down some dirt. We're going to put the vector plates from our old mob spawner on top of the dirt. Mobs from Cursed Earth will spawn through the vector plates just like they normally do on top of like stone or any other kind of material. How many vector plates do we have? Is my next question. We've got 55 vector plates, and we can always make more. The vector plates are really not too hard for us to get, and so all we're going to do really here, this is probably a decent sized room as well. We don't need it to be gigantic. All we're going to do is we're just going to do something like, I guess this. Run the vector plates back like so. We're going to put the slaughterhouse down, I guess, there. I'll go and grab it real quick, just so I know where I'm building to. I'm quite tempted to make some dark glass. Just because I think dark glass looks cool and being able to see the mobs spawn in and all that, I think is pretty neat. Although dark glass is quite pricey and quite tedious to make, so I might not make it, but we'll do this. We'll throw down vector plates all the way along here. Again, for those who didn't see me do this the first time, you can hold shift to not get pushed by the vector plates. Otherwise, you will get pushed by default. There are upgraded vector plates you can make. Those are simply just faster standard vector plates. They work in the same way. They're just quicker and move the mods faster. Which I don't think we really need just yet. Like, I think the mobs... This spawner is not so big as to require faster vector plates, I don't think. Like, they will get to the slaughter factory fast enough. Like, it's not going to take too long. I am a fool, though. I'm an idiot. I've got to replace this with dirt. Holy heck. I even said it before I did it. I even freaking said it. I said, Isaac, you got to put down the dirt, because dirt is what we can turn into Cursed Earth. So let me just quickly do that again, this time correctly. With dirt, if we leave just one bit of dirt available, we can just right-click on the that one bit of dirt. Like if we leave this corner here available, we can just right-click the drop of evil onto that one piece of dirt, and then it will just turn all the rest of the dirt into Cursed Earth as well. All we gotta make sure really is that we cover the front and make it fully dark before we do that. So we cover the front here. How hard is it to make dark glass? Like the dark glass, there is also dark ineffable glass, which is also nice, but does require moonstone, which we don't have just yet. We also don't have lunar reactive dust either. Dark glass requires thickened glass and then black dye. Black dye we've actually got quite a bit of. The thickened glass is smelted, sand, and normal glass. I actually think it's not going to be too hard for us to do, guys, real quick. It's unnecessary, but I think it's going to look cooler. And so Let's have a look here. We don't have any sand, which is problem number one. But we can turn all of that dirt that we have left over into sand fairly easily. And then now that we've got that diamond furnace, smelting that sand into glass, and then also smelting the extra glass into the double thickened glass, or whatever it's called here, the thickened glass, is also going to be nice and quick. So if we just throw that in there, that shouldn't take too long. Whilst that's doing that, I'm probably going to do some more here real quick, just because I don't think that's going to be quite enough sand. And then is it just, was it 2 sand and 1 glass, or was it 2 for 2? 2 for 2. Sandy glass. You smelt sandy glass into thickened glass. You combine the thickened glass with the black dye to make dark glass. Sure. Okay, 32 sandy glass is actually quite a bit of sandy glass as well. Like, we're getting quite a bit there. How much do we need? Real quick. It's 3 by 9, I think, because we've got 4, 8, 9. Yeah, so 3 by 9, so 27. We actually don't need that much in the way of dark glass either. We could probably also go ahead and make more diamond furnaces as well. Like, these were particularly easy to make. And again, now that we've got the gravel sifting again, I think we do have quite a lot of diamonds. Yeah, we're back up to 60. And so I might, between sessions, just go ahead and replace all of these with the diamond furnaces. Like, it's so much faster than this standard one here. Like, it's so much faster, to the point where it's probably almost not even worth putting them in there, right? Thankfully, Isaac of the Past did get quite a lot of black floral powder. Right? We got a lot of these mystical black petals. Let's see. Powder. Floral? I thought we had more than that. Oh, maybe not. That's fine. We can go ahead and craft these up with a pestle and mortar real quick and get what we're after. Also get rid of some of this netherrack that we're not going to use. Don't want to use all of them because we want to save some for later so we can make... Oh, it's in my inventory. I'm an idiot. It's right there in my freaking inventory. I already had it on me the whole time. Ah, well. Isaac should get into chickens. People have said this. I do want to look into chickens. It's on my list of things to do. As is everything, I know, but it is on my list of things to get into is chickens. It was something I wanted to start to do today a little bit. I wanted to set up an area for passive mobs to spawn in, but I didn't really get around to doing it. So is it 2 for 1 here? Oh, it's 2 for 2. Nice. Okay, so I guess it's 26. We need 1 more. We have to do this in even numbers here, so like so. But that gets us 27, or 28 even, dark glass. And so now, all we really need to do is just go ahead and throw this down. Oh gosh, that's a waste of glass there. Thankfully, we had the 1 spare one. Can't afford to do that again, though. So let's be a bit more cautious this time around. Again, we want to leave 1 space right there so that we can activate the cursed earth. And so we also need to get power into this thing. I think for now, how do I want to do this? How do I want to provide power to the slaughter factory? I think we could probably use the Spectre Coil. Again, eventually we'll put another flux point over near that and connect it up with lasers. But for now, I think we'll go ahead and grab this guy because this thing's not really doing much over here at the moment. And really just kind of hope that this produces enough power to keep this going. It might. I don't know if it will, just because this thing's going to be receiving quite a lot of mobs. But we'll throw you down right about there. That's going to produce some redstone flux. I get the feeling that's not going to be enough. But all we need to do now, grab our drop of evil, right-click it onto the dirt. That's going to turn all of that dirt into cursed earth. We can then throw down a vector plate, like so. Didn't go in the right direction, but that's fine. It should still push them around just fine. And then if we go ahead and just cover up... Is that dark enough in there? F7? Oh, no, our lantern, I think, is too big. Like, the range of our lantern, I think, is too large to where I'm fairly certain that this lantern here is lighting up the inside of this area, which is a little annoying. It means that we are going to have to get rid of that lantern. I also have another lantern under the floor here, right there, just to make sure the whole area is lit up. I guess we should have built this further away then, potentially. All right, let's, for the time being, let me get rid of these 2 lanterns real quick. I think what I might do... Yeah, give me this. What I might do... Let me get some torches as well real quick. What I might do between episodes is move that spawner so that it's not within the range of the lanterns. You know, I might move it back just a little bit. Maybe go get some more, another drop of evil or something like that. But for now, let me just turn off this, just to see if this thing does actually work as I want it to work. I'm just going to turn that off. I'm going to throw down some torches around the outside like this. But yeah, there we go. You can see, like, almost right away, as soon as the lanterns are gone, it's suddenly quite dark in there. If we press F7, you can't quite see it, but there are the little tiny bits of red under there for the red X's. And there we go. The mobs are spawning in. As I mentioned earlier, these mobs are stronger than normal mobs, but the way the slaughterhouse works, it does kill them instantly. so they don't take any like ticks of damage or anything. They just are alive 1 second and then dead the next, which is quite nice. And so that's going to go ahead and work slowly but surely to get us pink slime. Again, it should be faster than the spawner we had before. The spawner before was just hoping mobs would spawn in, which is not, you know, the best way of doing it. This one's getting mobs a lot more consistently, meaning that it will get pink slime a lot more consistently as well. And I think one final thing that we should do here is maybe put down a tank, one of our many tanks that we got earlier in today's stream, one of these guys here, on the back, just so that we can actually collect all of that excess pink slime. Although it might be better because you get more liquid meat than you do pink slime. It might be better to store the liquid meat instead of storing the pink slime. Like if we set the back here to output meat, but then make it so the back doesn't output pink slime, I think that will maybe output, or do I have to actually like move that with lasers? Is that how that works? I mean, we could use lasers as well. I'm pretty sure we got like, do we have a spare laser? I think we do, right? Maybe? Nice. So again, we'll throw these down in front of the pressure plate, like so. Get ourselves some more fluid laser relays, and then we can use these to transfer liquid to 2 different tanks here. So we'll throw one there, and then I think all we'll do here is just have like a tank here and a tank. There we go. Inventory messes up a little bit there. A tank there and a tank there, and then for now we'll just do this and this. We could put them on top, but that's fine for now. And then just pull out of here into there. Maybe. Do you have to put it to the top of these? I don't think you do, right? Does this auto output as well, or do I have to? No, this should work, right? No? Compass. Out of, into. There we go, okay. And then the same again here, boom, boom. There we go, okay. So now we're storing the meat over here. We're storing the pink slime over there. And that's it. That's pretty cool. So again, we are going to run into a point where this fills up with meat and this fills up with meat and it stops working. But by that point, we should hopefully have enough pink slime to get ourselves quite a lot of the stonework factories that I'm after, and also to get into playing with those fields, those energy fields, which will be quite nice as well. I guess the last thing we'll do here before we wrap up today's stream is try and get ourselves our first actual stoneworks factory. I'm going to throw down a couple of torches here real quick just to make sure that we don't get overrun by mobs, because that is very much so not what I want to have happen in today's stream here. We're still at 0 deaths all this time in. We haven't died yet, and so really going to try and not die, hopefully throughout the entire series, but we'll see. So let's just go ahead and dump some stuff here. Don't need all this in our inventory right now. There we go. This thing is a little slow every now and again, but that's fine. So all we need to do to get ourselves a stone works. This is kind of what we're working towards. Working towards getting the material stoneworks factory. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the stream, we do indeed have 1 bucket of pink slime in our inventory, ready to go. And the way that you get those pink slime balls required to make the material stoneworks factory is you place down pink slime in the world, and once you've done that, it will then spawn in a pink slime. Now, this can take a little while. Like I did this in a test world, and it does take sometimes like a minute or so for that to actually spawn in. I thought I did it instantly then. I was a little worried, but I'm going to leave that there for a second. If we go back over here, let's see if we've got what it takes to craft up everything else for the stoneworks factory. We've already got the plastic, which is good. I will quickly go ahead and grab a crafting table. We do need a furnace. I don't think we have any lying around. We also need an iron pickaxe, real easy stuff, as well as 1 machine case, which we should also be able to make fairly easily. We can, good stuff. 1 bucket of water and 1 bucket of lava, both of which, again, we can get fairly easily now. The pink slime has spawned in. Some of the larger ones can be quite hostile, but the smaller ones tend to not be able to do much damage, which is quite nice. I'm going to quickly just grab water from here, and then all we have to do is kill the pink slime in order to actually get that slime ball. It is hard to do because he is tiny and adorable. Look at this guy. Look into his eyes. Poor guy. Goodbye. And there's our pink slime ball. And so now, if we come back over to here, I think we have pretty much everything it takes to make the stoneworks factory. Nice. So let me throw this thing back down over there. And so this guy is really freaking cool. Some of you probably already know what this does, but for those who don't, I'm going to go ahead and throw it down in the test area, this area over here. And essentially, it when given power, will produce cobblestone. And then you can choose what to do with that cobblestone. So by default, it's just a cobblestone generator. But at the bottom here, we have these different icons. And these different icons can be toggled to do different things, right? For example, if we click it once, it goes into furnace mode and starts automatically turning that cobblestone into stone. If we click it again, it goes into 2x2 craft mode and it starts crafting that cobblestone into stone crafting tables. Not really something we're after, but nice to have nonetheless. If we do it again, it goes into grind mode, turning the cobble into gravel, and then one more time goes into 3x3 craft mode, which would of course condense the cobblestone into compressed cobblestone if you wanted it, and then back to the beginning again. I'm going to go with grind mode for now. That's probably the one we're going to use the most, maybe smelt mode as well. And then you can do that again and again and again and again. You can turn the gravel into sand with grind mode. And you can turn the sand into dust with grind mode, and at any point down the line you can change it as well. Like for example, if we wanted to turn our cobblestone into sand, we could go ahead and set this to furnace mode, and then it does cobble to gravel, gravel to sand, sand to glass. Really cool stuff. And so hopefully in the next stream we're going to be able to make quite a few of these. I want to make, you know, maybe like 5 or more of these stonework factories. I want to have one producing gravel for our gravel sifting setup over here, one producing dust for our dust sifting setup, one producing sand for our eventual sand sifting setup. But then also I'd like to have one that's just constantly making stone, because I used so much stone for base decoration. I would like to have one constantly producing glass, because we use so much glass, you know, for just crafting and base decoration and all that kind of stuff. And there was also just a ton more stuff that we could make as well as time goes on. And so those guys are really useful, really neat to have, and surprisingly cheap actually. Once you've got the actual, oh, don't kill me. Once you've got the slime balls, which we're going to get quite easily over here. You know, we could probably get another slime already with the amount of slime that we already have. But once we've got all the slime balls, making the actual Stoneworks factory is quite easy. And so, yeah, getting those should be quite nice and make our lives just a heck of a lot easier. And finally, guys, here, before I wrap up today's stream, let's go ahead and take a peek at our, oh, please let me deposit my items in here. Let's go take a peek at our mail, because apparently we have mail. Also, we got some friender pearls. Where did I get those from? I'm not quite sure. All right, let's see. What do we have here? We've got Tuller Tubby, who has sent me a mail. It has eat me with some humanoid flesh and Tuller Tubby's head. All right, let's have a look here. Player flesh. We did eat some humanoid flesh before. It did give us superpowers, which I liked. And I might set up like a head wall or something where we store people's heads. If you feel like sending me your head in the post, we can add it to the head wall, maybe. Oh my goodness, the FOV change is crazy. What else do we have here? We've got another letter from the same person. Oh, that's the same one. Sorry, that's Eat Me. We've got a Giga Breaker, Efficiency X and Fortune 3 with a Diamond Sword with Sharpness X and Unbreaking X. That's far too generous of you. I don't know if I'll use that because I like using the sword I've got, but we'll maybe keep that in mind for future reference. A Bound Dislocator. Oh gosh. I think we can use that to teleport. I don't know where that's going to teleport me to, is my real fear there, but we might test that. We've got an Illumination Wand. Right-click on a block to spawn light. Right-click on a block to remove light again. Editor's note, sorry, no spam today. Oh my goodness, how the heck does... Oh, wow. All right. I'll have to try that out as well at some point. And then we've got Secret Sauce Pineapple Pizza from I'm Callum as well. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love the pineapple pizza. I freaking love it, man. I love it. All right. And that's all of our mail for today. I am interested to try that light spawner out, as well as some of those tools, maybe. How long does this freaking... Oh, gosh, like 15 more seconds of this crazy FOV. It's insane. But yeah, between streams, I'll probably move this. I'll definitely move this so that it looks a little bit nicer. You know, maybe move it to the roof, maybe hide it under the floor. I'm not quite sure yet, but we'll figure it out. I'll look at upgrading some of our furnaces here to diamond furnaces, just to make smelting much quicker in general. I'll maybe do some work on this room, make it look a little bit nicer for our giant chest overlords. I will look towards getting more pink slime. I might even move this spawner back a little bit. I might not, though. I might just leave it here because, it's very temporary, and we can light this room up other ways. We don't have to use the lanterns, so we'll see how that goes. But for now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's stream there. For now...